Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Welcome you all again in the virtual learning system of Pakistan International School, Taif, Saudi Arabia. Dear students, as you know that this is Pakistan International School, Taif virtual class for class 10 students, subject computer science, and today is our 28th lecture. Teacher name Imran Ahmad. Dear students, as you know that in the previous lecture we were discussing about the chapter number 5, which is belongs to the loop. Extensive question number 5, explain the purpose of break and continue statement with one example of each. So in the previous lecture already we have defined or discussed the break statement is used to transfer the control outside the block in which it appears. So continue statement is used for the next iteration of the loop. So this one was the continue statement. Next our topic, what is nested loop? Give two examples. Nested loop means loop inside loop. Loop within loop is called the nested loop. For example, one loop is already executing and in the execution of another loop, and in the execution of a loop another loop is present. So this one is called the nested loop. So nested loop could be two or three. Let's say we can say that in the execution of for loop, while loop will be present. In the execution of for for loop will be present, or in the execution of for do while will be present, or the reverse of while within while there will be a for loop or do while loop. So loop within loop is called the nested loop. A loop is said to be nested when a loop inner is executed under the execution of another outer loop. So there will be outer loop and inner loop. The programmer can nest a for loop inside a while loop or inside a do while loop. Loop can be mixed in any way as required. So it depends on the program situation. The best example of nested loop is digital watch. Best example of nested loop is digital watch. For example, keep in mind, uh, in the nested loop, one rule is there for the execution of outer loop. For the each execution of outer loop, inner loop will be executed completely. Keep in mind, for the execution of outer loop, inner loop will be executed completely. I will tell you how. Keep in mind the digital watch. So in the digital watch, we use three. In the digital watch, we use how many? How many loops? Three loops will be used. First one, outer loop will be hour. Then the middle loop will be minute. Then the inner loop will be second. So there are three loops are used in the digital watch. For the execution of 1 hour, minute will be completely executed. For the execution of 1 minute, second will be completely executed. For example, when the 59 seconds are completed, so it will increase the one value of minute. When the second time when the loop will be started, so when the again 59 second, then again the 1 minute is increased. Now when the 59 minutes will be completed, 1 hour will be executed. So it means that for the execution of each execution of outer loop, loop will be executed completely. Now keep in mind this example hash include. I will tell you how they works. Stereo.h hash include conio.h void main. We use the integer ij are the two variables used in the loop. So j is equal to 1. So this one is outer loop. Watch here, in the outer loop there is another loop present. This one is called the inner loop. The value of j is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 3 j plus plus. So 1 is less than 3, condition is true. Now control will be transferred to over here. I is equal to 2, I is less than or equal to 4, and I plus plus. Printf backslash n percentage d equal to percentage d. Now, first we are displaying the value of j. Watch here, this is the j value column. First column represent the j value and second column is representing the I value. J is equal to 1. The value of j is 1. So 1 is displayed over here, and the value of first time execution value of I is equal to 2. So this output will be appeared on the screen for the first value, for the first. Now it will increase in the inner loop, because I told you for the outer value, each value of outer loop, inner loop will be executed completely. So when the value of I becomes 3 now, 3 is less than or equal to 4, this condition becomes true. Then again controls comes to over here. Then watch here, the value of j still remains 1, but the value of I is 3 now. Again it will increase the value of I and it will reach to the 4. 4 is less than or equal to 4, condition is true. Control again come inside the loop, inner loop. So 1 outer loop still having the value of 1 and inner loop value is changed into 4. Now when the it will increase the value of I, it will becomes 5 now. 5 is less than or equal to 4, condition becomes false. When this condition becomes false, control will be transferred outside this block. So control will, but still remains the inside of this block. So control will comes to the value of j. Now first value of j was 1. When it will increase, its value becomes 2 now. 2 is less than 3, less than or equal to 3, condition is true again. Now again this will start from the 2, I is equal to 2. Watch here, this output will be appeared on the screen, 2 is equal to 2. Now this process will be continue on and on until outer loop will completely finish. So this will be your output. 2 is equal to 4, 3 is equal to 2, 3 is equal to 3, 3 is equal to 4. Keep in mind for the each value of outer loop. Now this column, first column represent the outer loop and the second column represent the values of inner loop. Watch here 1, 1, 1. So outer loop is still remains 1 and it will increase the value of this one. Next, example, because question says two examples. Program using nested loop to calculate the sum of integer from each integer from 1 to n, where n is the value that the user of the program enters. We will enter the now we don't know the upper limit. So hash include stereo.h, hash include conio.h, void main. We have taken few variable of type integer, which is j, k, sum, and n. Clear screen printf enter upper limit. So upper limit, for the upper limit we are using the variable n. So printf integer, this message will be appeared on the screens, integer and the sum. Watch here, this is the message appeared on the screen, integer and the sum, this one. Upper limit, when we execute upper limit, this message, upper limit we assign value, let's say it is 8. Scanf n value having the 8 and the next message will be appeared is like this one. Now we are using the j is equal to 1, j is less than or equal to n. It means that this loop will be execute how many times? If the value of n is 8, so outer loop having the j is equal to 1, j is less than or equal to 8, and j plus plus. Which value of n you will assign, the outer loop will be execute till over there. Sum is equal to 0. Sum is equal to 0. For k is equal to 1, k is less than or equal to j over here. K is less than or equal to j. So first time it will increase one time. Why? Because the value of j is 1 and the k of value of k is also 1. 1 is less than or equal to, condition is true, sum is equal to sum plus k. So this message will be appeared on the screen. It will increase the value of k. K is false now. So again control will be transferred to over here. So value of j becomes 2 now. When the value of j becomes 2 now, so this loop will be continuous and to calculate the sum is equal to sum plus k. So watch here, this message will be appeared on the screen for the each value of the nested loops. For the outer loop, this one represent the outer loop and this one represent the inner loop. I will make the watch digital watch at the end of this program, at the end of this topic, because digital watch is the best example of nested loop. So this one is the easy digital watch. I will tell you how to make the digital watch. Now over here, your long questions are completed. Now we will move towards the short questions. Sorry. These are the extensive question. Loop control structure, short question, give short answer of the following question. First one, differentiate between. Now I hope you know something about the for loop and the while loop. Later we will do when we will do the lab activities. So it will be much easy for you people to understand this one. For loop. For loop is called count control. The second is the for statement is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly to a fixed number of times. Over here, watch, a fixed number of times in a program. So general form of the for loop is for initialization, test condition, increment or decrement. So only one you can use. Either it will be increment or either it will be decrement. So this is the body of the loops. This is related with the for loop. Question was differentiate between for loop and while loop. So this one is the for loop differences with the while loop. Second, the while loop is called the event control. When for loop is called the count control and while loop is called event control. The while statement is used to implement repetition structure in a program when the number of iteration is not known in advance. So we can use the while loop, the purpose of while loop when we don't know the execution of the block structure under the while, when we don't know then how many number of times. So we use the while loop and the repetition continues until some condition remains true. General form General form of while loop is that while test condition and the body of the loop. Second question, differentiate between while loop and do while loop. What is the difference between the while loop and do while loop? This one is the while loop and over here at this column we are representing the do while loop. While loop is pre-tested loop. While loop is pre-tested loop. So keep in mind all of the letters of while loop will be small. And do while is post tested loop. Why we are calling the pre-test or post-test? Watch in the structure, general structure, while test condition, so body of the loop, and this one is the closing of the while loop. So condition is checked at the top of the loop. That's why we are going to call this one is while pre-tested loop. In the do while loop, why the general structure do body of the loop and condition is checked at the end of the loop. That's why this one is called the post tested loop. While loop check the condition at the start of the loop. Do while loop check the condition at the end of the loop. Repetition do not occur if the condition false. Repetition means this will be not execute if this condition becomes false. But repetition occur at least once if the condition becomes false. Now over here, if this condition becomes false, it will execute the do while statement one time only. So this one is called the do while loop. Now we are going to make the opening the IDE and I will show you the nested loop which we have discussed in the structure. So I will use the sum hash include stereo.h hash include conio.h. I am going to use the one more header file, which is hash include dos.h, because in this I will use few more functions. Void main, we are going to use the three variable. One is hour, one is minute, and another one is second. So clear screen. Most probably I will not leave any errors over there, because after the execution computer will be stuck. That's why just one time I will use this one. So keep in mind, this is our last topic belongs to our today's lecture. That's why if the computer becomes stuck now, so it will be end hour. For each value, outer loop is hour. Hour is start from the 0. It means that at the night 12 p.m. there is 000. Hour is less than, if it is start from the less than 23, and hour plus plus. This is our outer loop. Now minute loop. For minute is equal to 0, minute is less than or equal to 59, minute plus plus. For second is equal to 0, second is less than or equal to 59, second plus plus. So these are the three loops. Now I will display these loops. Printf first value is percentage %d, again percentage %d. I will use this one because it will differentiate per percentage %d. Third again percentage %d, because we are going to display all of these threes. Percentage %d 3 times, and over here I am again putting the full column. No problem, this one is just the message hour, now minute and the second. The value of hour is 0, minute is 0, so first value should be displayed in the, this execution will be much faster. Now this is our digital watch. Get ch. This execution is much faster, and we will control with the few more function I will use after the executing \n. Watch here. Include inc at the output, check it. This is our watch is running, digital watch. Now I will control this execution. Now this one is the one for 1 day only, because when it will be last value will be execute. Now watch here, I will use its, I will control the execution of this loop. Delay function. Delay you can give it 1000 value or 500. So it depends on your computer speed. And one more function. So the header file of delay is dos.h. That's why I use the dos dot. Go to, that is the another function, go to xy. It means that I want to transfer the control at the fixed position at, let's say, 24 row and 12 row and 24 column, let's say over there. So check it. Pause. Oh, this one is at the end. Watch here at the bottom, because 12 row was the very, now it will be complete. Instead of 10 rows and 24 column, you can give it. So it will be not stop. If your computer have the control pause break, pause button, so you can control the execution of this loop and comes to the IDE again. Control pause. My laptop don't have the pause button. So it will watch here. When the first loop is completed, it will increase the value of the minute. When the next it will be increased. So this one is the digital watch. Watch here, it is still running. Now I want to, I cannot go in, because when it will be completed, so it means that I want, we will have to wait up to how many, 24 hours, means one day watch is completed. I can make this one for the lifetime, but for this purpose, we will use another statements. I think today is enough for the lecture, and I hope you understand the concept of nested loop, which was belonging to the digital watch. It means loop inside loop is called the nested loop. Inshallah, tomorrow we will discuss the next topic. Till take care of yourself. Pray for me. Pray for all Muslim. Allah Hafiz. My computer is stuck.